Official. And I am beatzillapdx Official. All right. How's everybody doing today? We are here. So we are just doing a little bit. Talk about a few things in local news here. Because we do have quite a bit to talk about. How's my volume out there, family? Everything good? Let me turn that down a bit. No. All right. Okay. Okay. Sounds like we're good. All right. So, one thing we have going on here locally is we have a new mandate that the city of Portland workers get, okay, I will. You know what? Let me just turn this down a bit. Okay, so what I'm going to do is turn that off for now. And I'll come back to that. So, we have a new mandate going down that they've put down in our city that all city workers need to be inoculated from this recent pandemic that we are going through right now. And you have to do it by, let's see, what did they say? October 15th, or you will lose your job. And that's what's happening right here in the city, unfortunately. So, with that being said, we have seen many people coming over these borders, coming over here to this country with no problem, with no resistance, not much at all, really. So with that being said, we have opened our particular borders here in the state of Oregon, which of course means the city of Portland and the surrounding metropolitan areas, excluding Vancouver, Washington, because that's another state. So that means Oregon and Portland and its suburbs, such as Beaverton and, let's see, that'd be like Gresham. And if anybody knows about Portland, when I say Gresham, that's pretty much the numbers. So it's the numbers, which is the end of Portland going into Gresham. And that's where they made the new home and haven for the hood, all the way out in the suburbs. Well, what used to be the suburbs. Now it's pretty much the hood. And where I'm from is completely gentrified for the most part. You have a few, but it's not many. It is really not many. So, with that being said, you said same there, Judah Queen? Wow. I'm not really surprised. It's crazy what's going on here. They got here lickety split, didn't they? I mean, they were on a plane last week and they already kicking their feet up. So who do we got here? Silent D, peace. Yes, indeed. Listening while cleaning. Judah Queen, of course. TJ, welcome. Yes, indeed. All right. So, welcome everybody who is here listening. Of course, this is the podcast, Our Real Truth. So this is not a camera show. So you don't see me on this particular show, other than the thumbnail. With that being said, you can find this podcast on Spotify, Anchor FM, Google Podcasts, and iTunes. And on some of those services, I believe you can actually set it to automatically download when new podcasts get uploaded. Most of those I am doing live on Beatzillapdx Official on YouTube. But if you do not follow that particular broadcast, you can always tune in on iTunes, Google Podcasts, Anchor FM, and Spotify for the Our Real Truth with beatzillapdx official podcast. And now that that drop is out the way, good. Okay, Queen of the Karma Cult. Welcome. Hello, everyone. Yes, indeed. All right. So, yes, listening while working, and that is, there is nothing to see. So this is all audio. So it's perfect timing. Desmond Works. Welcome, my brother. So, another thing going on, something I noticed, and I'm wondering if other people are noticing. So many years ago, it seems, everybody was up in arms about Muslims. Anybody remember that? It was Muslim this, Muslim that. We can't trust Muslims. Now, we are about to celebrate, come next Tuesday, 20 years of 9/11. It is pretty interesting that the so-called terrorists of that particular event are now about to be citizens of America. How about that? Something else. All of that military equipment that went over to Afghanistan that they say is still over there. How much of the smaller technical pieces, say communication devices, maybe personal size explosives, firearms and such, how many of those may have made it over here with some of those unvetted refugees? You understand what I'm saying? T. Clay, welcome. So, we have a lot of unvetted refugees here. Now, if we were going to say what we were going to say about, like everybody was mad about Donald Trump saying, shithole countries. Well, this is a country that you have been at war with for 20 years. How is it that without vetting these people, you would just open our borders? And then on top of that, we all know these people are coming to the black neighborhoods, and I'll say black and brown for this, because you best believe here where I live at, they've given the brown people their own little enclaves. So they have whole apartments. You know what I mean? I'm sure a lot of your places are like that. Now, here's the other thing. Notice everyone that they are bringing over here identifies as white. You understand? They all identify as white. So we have to keep that in mind. Because, as we move further and further into this new thing that we are seeing right now, because we are not going back to what used to be. For those who might be like still in the mind state of, well, when we get back to normal, I can't really solidly say I believe that is ever going to happen. Matter of fact, I believe firmly of the opposite. I believe this is it. Like Michael Jackson. Now, with that being said, it would be, I guess in anyone's best interest to know what's happening behind the scenes. Look at these laws that they're trying to pass. Now, just recently, as of yesterday, they just shot down the mandatory jab push that they were doing down there in California. And that was very quiet, very much under the radar. They're trying to do something like that here in Portland, Oregon. I would pay attention to your local governments and see what they are trying to really get out there and get over on you with, while bringing all these other people. And notice, there's no talk about any venom. No talk about the sheep juice for these people coming over here whatsoever. Only thing you hear about them is how they need to be given safety. Absolutely all by design, Queen Adia. Absolutely. And see, this is the thing. We, as the grassroots, the new black media, those of intelligent thought, those of us who speak in the truth and sincerity, we warned you. We warned you. However, no one wanted to believe us. Now that you have been tossed to the side by the Democrats, what now? We have a whole group of competing people who are coming here with a leg up over citizens. Does that make any sense? Does it make any sense that this much money should be spent in the midst of a crisis going to another country, while we have people in our cities in tents? Again, I don't know what your city looks like, but remember, for some of y'all who follow my broadcast on YouTube, y'all seen the video I played when the dude was just driving through Portland, showing you how Portland looked. How on earth would you send a bunch of people from another country to a city that is literally financially dying? It's not thriving unless you're in the food truck business. Outside of that, there's a lot of businesses that are struggling to hold on here. But this is very much a democratic, liberal state by government name and city. So when you hear Kate Brown get out there and start running her mouth about how the state of Oregon is coming to the rescue, she really means Portland. Let's not kid ourselves at all. You understand me? So now what we are seeing, let me read this to you. And this is from the State of Oregon Newsroom. And this was back on August 18th. So it reads, Governor Kate Brown issues statement on welcoming Afghan refugees. Oregon stands ready to help the federal government resettle Afghan refugee families. Portland, Oregon. Now, this is what's crazy. It literally says Portland, Oregon. Now, our capital, state capital is Salem. That's where her office is, in Salem. But, of course, we know they're trying to stuff them in Portland. So, here we go. T. Clay and welcome. So Governor Kate Brown issued the following statement today on the situation in Afghanistan, and in support of the letter she issued by Senator Casey Jama or Hama, I'm not sure how that's pronounced, is Jama, and Representative Khan Pham yesterday. Clearly with those names, somebody probably wasn't born here in this country, which that's cool. As we watch the current situation unfold in Afghanistan, Oregon stands ready to help the federal government resettle Afghan refugee families. over the last 2 decades, thousands of Afghans have worked alongside U.S. military service members as interpreters and translators and in other roles, risking their lives as they contributed to our efforts in their country. In their country. We got enough going on here, but they're so concerned about somebody else's land. Well, and that's what it is. It's the land, not the people. Let's keep it a buck. Tanya Zion, welcome. Let's see. Okay, it goes on to read. Now, this is where you know this is typical Democratic propaganda, and this is for the Democrats' benefit. Okay, we go. The lives of Afghan women and girls are at risk simply because they had the audacity to learn in school and pursue careers. Now, I want you to understand why they're doing that. That's a dog whistle for the white feminists, which, of course, the white feminists send the dog whistles down the line to the black feminists, so on and so forth. Excuse me. Let's see here. Where am I at? Equal rights advocates are being targeted for seeking a more just future with equal rights for all. Members of the LGBTQIA plus community in Afghanistan are in danger because of who they are and of who they love. Oregon is ready to welcome any and all Afghans who would make our state their home. Well, so right now, like I said, we have a severe homeless crisis going on in our state. And it's really, really personified in this city. Oh my God. It's the buffer class that, you know, how they have those those warning sirens. It's like calling all cars. Everybody get here fast because we need voters who register as white. Are y'all catching that part? They really are trying hard to get these white voters. Because, you know, we have just saw the articles come out that the white numbers of birth are so low. They are literally dying off. So they have to do something. What better way to get a whole group of people over here to mix with? What a coincidence. Look at the timing. And all of a sudden, no one is concerned about the Taliban and ISIS coming to your town. Interesting. Because remember, none of these people are vetted. So how do we know who they are? And again, we have had so many of these people who they said were vetted and still were terrorists, right? Oyela Aket, Esma, yes indeed, welcome. So we've had these people that they've called terrorists in the past, right? So, you know, hey, here we go again. So here is, let me play you this. Let me get this one up here. That one. Let me play. This is the mayor of Beaverton, which is, for those who are familiar with Portland, which is our closest suburb to the west. So yeah, our closest suburb west is Beaverton. So if you're in Beaverton, you're basically in Portland. You know, That's pretty much how that works. Oh yeah, already we got good old Google moderators in our chat today, as well as they usually are. So anyway, let me play. This is just listen to how inviting they are, and again, we are talking about mandatory this and mandatory that. When you are listening to them speak of bringing these people over, there is zero reference to making sure they have healthy lives. Isn't that interesting? Because a part of safety would be the same thing that we need as black folks, because all of us black folks ain't getting the jab like everybody else, and it's our fault because black folks, we needs to do better. Right? Well, we're not hearing the same, same old song with these folks, but, I know how some of these people are in my city, so without further ado, here's the Beaverton mayor.
Good afternoon, Beaverton. I thought a video post over a written post might be better. I, like many Americans, have been watching what has been unfolding in Afghanistan with sheer horror. As a veteran, as a combat veteran, married to someone who is also a combat veteran that spent immense time in Afghanistan, we just can't believe what is actually happening right now. And like most Americans, I wanted to do something with my energy. And so I spent a large part of yesterday contacting all of our Beaverton volunteers that we knew were from Afghanistan to offer any assistance to them and just to let them know we're here, we're thinking about them, we're praying for their family. And I spent a large part of the day liaisoning between them and our federal government, because people just don't know how to access government. They don't know how to make sure the systems are working for them. And we have a lot of community members that are scared, that don't know where to turn for help. And if my office can be the entry point for you, we will help you through that entire process and hand you off to the level of government that can actually deal with it. I also spent time calling combat veteran friends that I knew had served in Afghanistan to talk to them about the experience. And it's so intertwined with a lot of our identity. It's very challenging to watch what's actually happening. And I also contacted all of our organizations that touch refugees, letting them know that Beaverton is here to be their partner. We don't know how many refugees might be coming into Oregon, but I want them to know the city is here to partner with them, to aid in their effort. And once people start coming in, we want to welcome them into our extremely welcoming community. So, my call to action for you is check on members of our community that know you served, check on members of our community that you know are from Afghanistan, and be ready when the next call to action happens.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, all right. So, what do you guys think about that? Oh, Lord. I mean, really. These, you can't, well, number one, we already know we can't trust these people. These people are not meant to be trusted. But, they do have to come out and attempt to try to sell you on the lie. So let's give her some credit. But no, we know what it is. Beaverton, woke one. If only you knew. You're so wrong, bro. Because woke one, Ron Jeremy didn't spend most of his time in Beaverton. He actually built his club in downtown Portland. But he might actually been staying in Beaverton. So, woke one, that's what I'm saying. You just don't know how much you hit the nail on the head. Do you know Ron Jeremy literally had a club here? Really? I mean, really, I'm not lying. I don't do that anyway, but believe you me, if you Google it, look up Ron Jeremy's club in Portland, Oregon. He had a club right downtown, like on 2nd Ave. He sure did. like I said, Portland's one of those places like Portland touches everywhere like the sun. Somehow it just doesn't move. Louise, welcome. But yeah, so back on track. Woke what got me distracted with the Ron Jeremy thing. But yeah, as you see, we got whole city mayors jumping out here talking about, yes, come on, y'all. We are welcoming you and reach out. Now, not once did you hear her mention anything about making sure that we have jabs ready and available for every Afghan refugee that needs to get jabbed up and venomized. You haven't heard that once. But yet it's in our face every day. And you are talking about keeping people from work, citizens from work, while you're paying for these super spreaders to come here. I think we need to reevaluate the power and strategy of simply holding our vote. Don't y'all think it's time for more of us to really seriously look at that? We need to start telling our friends and family, hey, well, actually, probably it wouldn't work now because majority of them have been infused. Now, those who are still aware, Oh, you said you still tripping how they're putting them up in Airbnbs? Oh, you better believe it. They got Airbnbs. Now, I find it very interesting, the timing also of these Walmarts closing, which if for those of you who have been down with me for a minute and know about my old podcasts on my old platforms, I've definitely spoke about these Walmart FEMA camps before. Back when they were moving those tanks back in 2012. If anybody remembers, and somebody stopped one of these times, said, hey, where are you taking all these tanks? They told them they were sending them to Iraq. Any service person that has been over in Afghanistan or the desert would tell you, especially the Desert Storm soldiers, they left that stuff over there. One of the main reasons they knew where they were coming back to use it. But they just gut the equipment. They don't bring that stuff back. Yeah, America is probably the biggest litter bugs ever. They just go to war on these countries and just leave their equipment there and then take all the brains and stuff out of their tanks and just leave big hunks of metal sitting over there. How American. Oh, you wasn't woke then. Shoot, you was probably you was like in high school then. So, there was a lot of people, I had plenty of people who say, hey, man, that sounds crazy. Well, now in 2021, my, how things have changed. So, let's see. Now, if y'all been following me, you also know I did a broadcast not too long ago about the Portland police who were, our police force is thinning. Also, Lisa Cabrera actually did a broadcast on how our Portland officers were quitting. And I want to tell you, one of the main reasons why they cannot get police in their police force, they have about 30 open positions, and by next year, we'll have about 50 plus. And they have the money to pay them. They're not underfunded. They have the money to pay them. The problem is they have restricted them from doing all of the little minor things that would cause all of this unnecessary police interaction with the black community. Yeah. So not being able to harass or abuse power on black people is the reason why these people are not wanting to join our police force. Because they finally have done something about these smoke 'em, don't choke 'em ass cops in Portland. You know, we actually had, and I don't fault anybody for using a platform to tell their story. Last year, they had a man from here, a brother I know, Joe Bean Keller, whose son was killed by the police, shot in the back of the head, and they said he shot himself. So this type of thing has been going on for a long time. And this is Portland. We do not make up a huge amount of black folks here. So the reason being that they want to bring these refugees here is simply to get Democratic voting numbers. They're going to push these people through. Now, also, remember, I just played the replay the other day, Saturday morning. Remember what our governor did just not even a month ago? She was in a, see, this is somebody, I think it was Queen Adia that said, this is all by design. Absolutely. Because how do we know here? In Oregon, the restrictions of graduation have been lifted. Now, typically we were thinking, well, that affects our children. It affects their children because they're the ones who are really complaining about not being in the classroom. However, now with this new development, with all these refugees coming here, and then you look at the path to citizenship, oh, it makes things look a lot different, doesn't it? I'm just saying, it makes things look a lot different. So now we would have, thousands of people on that identify as white that can thank Joe Biden, while Joe Biden didn't even give a damn about American citizens there. We're going to have to seriously do some talking to of our black Democrats, because this is their guy. And again, I do not support Donald Trump, the Republicans, Democrats, none of it. I am black first and black last. So anything that deals with that, I'm on board. Anything that doesn't deal with me. See, we need to start understanding when we vote for something. You understand? He's building up his voters. Absolutely. And again, y'all got to understand things I've learned along the way. Sometimes, one of the biggest things I think people could learn from Hillary Clinton is sometimes you gain more power by losing. I don't know if everybody understood what I just said. When's the last time you've ever heard who the president of the DOC is? Or DNC? Who's their president? Who's their leader? Have you ever heard? You've heard plenty of RNC president changes, but who runs the DNC? I've mentioned it before. Yeah. See, she was running things when she was in the White House, when her husband was president. It never meant anything to her, really, to run as and be president. She has gained so much power. It's ridiculous. So when you see these people, she can point and say the money goes here. She can point and says the money goes there. This is the candidate we want. Now, from things I've learned early in my career, that's one of the things I know. And so always look for when you start hearing certain things going a certain direction with Democrats. Oh, that comes from Hillary. There is no other order. It is all Hillary. She's the queen bee. Ain't nothing coming out of there that she don't okay. Period. Not even her husband. Y'all better go back and just look over the time. All the video stuff is there. She was more juiced in than her husband ever was. And you better understand why. Okay. And then you can put the play with her and old Killy Billy. I'm telling y'all gotta watch the players. Look at the people behind the scenes. And anytime you see a Rothschild anywhere in the wings, know something nefarious is going on. Yes, Hillary Clinton is the queen bee. Some of the ill stuff I've heard about her, which is alleged, as far as my ears know. But ill. Like, is that person even human? What kind of monster is this? One thing I will say, y'all know what general compassion looks like. Y'all know what general empathy looks like. Start noticing and writing these people off. When you see the absence of that, you better let them people be who they show you they are. You understand? If they ain't got no empathy, that is a potential psychopath. If nothing else, a sociopath. Or major characteristic flaws. By any means, get the hell away from them with the utmost quickness. Yes, indeed, oh yellow Arquette, anything with the Rothschilds is always nefarious. Well, and I also need to let y'all know, we live in Aleister Crowley land. I said this yesterday. This is the do what thou wilt era. You can't tell nobody nothing, and if you do, you will be shamed. You will be shamed. How about that? How does that work out? So if you say, hey, ladies, let's have some modesty and not show our asses in a $100 dinner type, $250 restaurant, for what, 2 people, you paying $250? I shouldn't see twerking. You go to the restaurant where all of the different items are individual. There ain't no put together meal where you going. There should be no twerking in that environment. Fellas. The skinny jeans era. You don't need to be no grown man. I mean, I'll say ever, because my kids never did it. But if you are over the age of 30, don't walk around here looking like you got a yeast infection. Take them skinny Peter Pan ass jeans off and go put you on something that fit. And by no means does another grown man want to see your ass cheeks. That's not appealing. And that is not very grown of you, brother. So, I'm just saying, nobody want to see that. I don't. I mean, like, dude, I want to see some dude walking around here showing his butt. Cut that off. Cut that out. Nut huggers. Like I said, look like he about to get a yeast infection. Oh, man. So, again, Yeah, the sagging, and I think I do have a few younger sisters that that are in here. Y'all definitely, if you see a dude in the mirror more than you, shake that quick. You know what I'm saying? If he's in the mirror more than you, he's just in the process of figuring out where he gonna end up. You just go ahead and spare yourself the time and the waste of energy to go ahead and find something else. Okay? So if he's in the mirror more than you, trust me, when y'all don't work out, it's not you. Okay? So I'm just saying, just go ahead and move on and get you somebody that says, hey, baby, you look pretty today. You know? Oh, Lord. Yes, indeed. I might have to do one of them broadcasts too. Who knows? But I mean, I say, email me if y'all have some questions. I got plenty of things I'm kind of novicely versed at. Oh, Lord. Yeah, so again, I just want y'all to say, see how these things are playing out and unfolding right before our eyes. We've heard people say, these people want to get us chipped up. These people want to get us chipped. Well, yeah, clearly. And, just think, if you need a system to make a chip work the best, then now would be the time. This would be called prep. Oh, well, yes, woke one. The sagging thing. Now again, in them 80s, when there was sagging going on now, usually there was a reason why those jeans were so big. That's different. See, in the 80s and them early 90s, that sagging to conceal something. I haven't seen a cat with a whole damn shotgun in his damn pants. So, that's a whole different story. Although these dudes, I don't know how they do it. But, because they out here walking around with like 5 pairs of drawers on, and so skinny ass jeans that they can't even put all the way up on their ass. That makes no sense. Whoever started that type of, it was how you running away. It's like, man, show me a dude that's getting killed with his pants up. Not to say that doesn't happen, but I mean, really, you need your pants at your ankles while you got beef in the streets? You need some OGs around you. Good Lord. It's got you out here all wrong. Yeah, you go have beef in the streets and you can't even run to the left or right when you need to. Come on, man. Yeah, sagging way different today. Like I said, when Cash was holding something, when they had something in one pocket and something in the other. So, things is different. These dudes now was wearing that for women to see them, or maybe all the dudes they're hanging around with. I don't know. Who can say? All I can say is, when I see too many men desiring to be overly pretty while talking loud, that's kind of interesting to me. Prime example. I hate to say it. Some of y'all would have probably, now I'm from the West Coast, and anybody from the West Coast in this chat can attest to what I'm about to say. Or if you're from Chicago. When y'all seen Brother Polite out there with his wives, and they was out there looking like pimps and hoes on the stroll, people was like, oh, he pimping. No, he's not. What you seeing right there, that is the I always wanted to be this. And he finally living out his fantasy of looking like a pimp. He ain't sending nobody to no track. You kidding? The one thing that he don't got is that on him. If y'all think that there's any kind of ism oozing off of Brother Polite, I don't see it. No, he might be able to be the stick man, but as far as sending them, no. No, he is not a Mac. I mean, shoot, you could hear by the way he talk, he ain't got that game in him. He had to be the who remembers Shazza Zulu from Different World? Who remembers Shazza Zulu? Wait, let's say just in, got an alert from Yahoo News. 1 in 5 say they won't get the Kool-Aid. I know those numbers are a lie. 1 in 5 won't get it? Really? Well, that's probably down there. I'm not really surprised because y'all got a lot of honorary proud fellas down there. Georgia got a lot of honorary proud fellas. But you know, I'm keep an eye on these numbers, family. That's all I will say. And when the numbers stop making sense, don't try to make sense out of nonsense. And just call it what it is. Shenanigans. You feel me? Yes, indeed. So, with that being said, this has been another episode of Our Real Truth with beatzillapdx Official. Hey, please like and share this broadcast. Subscribe to this channel. And always, like we say on my broadcast, beatzillapdx Official on YouTube. Babylon is fallen. Babylon is fallen. Let it fall and let us rise. Hey. So, with that being said, we will be back tomorrow on beatzillapdx Official on YouTube for the midweek report. Hope everyone will be there to tune in. Y'all have a great evening. And make sure you follow me. Instagram, beatzillapdx. Twitter, beatzillapdx. Facebook, beatzillapdx. Also on Patreon, beatzillapdx Official. And on Melanated People, Michael Beatzilla Whitmore. As well, I told you, you can also email me at ourrealtruth@gmail.com. That's ourrealtruth@gmail.com. And of course, if you feel so inclined, so moved, so touched to put some money in the bucket by way of donation, you can do so at CashApp $beatzillapdx. That's CashApp $beatzillapdx. All gifts are welcome and much appreciated. Thank you. Peace and blessings be unto you, for you who have blessed already and for you who continue to give. So, y'all have a blessed evening, all right? Y'all stay safe, stay vigilant, and stay alive. All right? We riding out. Shalom, y'all.